Okay, hello everyone. We are live. Welcome to the Placker webinar. Today we'll talk about the potential of using custom attributes for your boards. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Hey, Robert, Steven, Manuel, Allegra, EJ, Douglas, Peter. I'm happy that you are all here and excited to dive into this feature with you. If you have any questions at any time, if you want to share your context here in the chat, it will be great for me to know what you want to learn the most and how we can adapt the content to address what you need. Okay? My name is Gustavo. I'm a customer success manager at Placker. My job is exactly to help you to get the most out of the tools. And we've been doing many webinars. Some of you have joined some of the ones that we did a few weeks ago in the last few months. And today is about the custom attributes, which is also a very powerful tool. Okay, well, the recording will be available if you want to watch again later, or if you want to share this with one of your teammates, feel free to do so. You can use the same link here at the top. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to send me at any time. Well, for who is new to Placker, it is a complete tool. You can use this as your main project management tool. You can also use it as a power-up to enhance the capabilities of Trello and of Microsoft Planner. It enables many different options like Gantt charts or reports or custom attributes, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to show you an example of a Trello board. So Trello is great for basic projects where you don't have a lot of complexity. You can open the cards and you can add basic attributes like the member responsible to do this card, or the labels if you want to tag a specific department or a specific area of the card. You can use it as you like. Checklists, dates, so those are the basic fields in Trello. I know that sometimes when you're dealing with complex projects or you need to add more information, that this is not enough. So the first thing you can do is install the Projects by Placker PowerUp, which, by the way, is one of the featured power-ups of Trello. So you can access the featured power-ups of Trello. It will be there. You can activate it on your projects, and then you will have a trial period, or if you already have the subscription, you will have access to the Placker features. And before diving into the custom attributes, notice that you already have available a variety of plan attributes from the moment you install Placker. So for example, you can click Add Plan Attribute, and you can include the start date and time. You can include the duration, story points if you're using an agile approach, budget, priority. So these are fields that are usually not available, but from the moment you install Placker, you will have them available for you. And you also have the Placker interface, where you can do many cool things like loading many boards on the same screen. You can use the Gantt chart to visualize a timeline of your cards. You can create reports, many different things. Okay, and today we are going to talk about custom attributes. So it's quite similar to the tool that Trello offers, the custom fields. It has some additional options, which I will explain. But basically, the idea is if the Trello fields are not enough, if you cannot find what you need exactly in a plan attribute, then you can create a Placker custom attribute for that. Like, for example, if you are in one of your boards and then you would like to add, like, for example, a code for your client. So every client has a code that you use for your system, and then you don't have a code field here. You can go to Placker, click open the settings of your board, click the custom attributes, and then you can add a new text or number or date attribute, which in this case it's client code. And then you have available for you in your Trello boards, and then you can include the code for your clients. Okay. So that's the idea. If you have access to Placker Premium, to Trello Premium, sorry, and you have the custom fields enabled, you can also use this for your boards. Let me show you some of the interesting things that you can do when you're using the Placker interface and when you're using the Trello, the Placker custom fields there. So I have created an example of a board where you would manage the work assigned to each client. So you have the clients here, you have steps 1, 2, 3 to manage each of your clients, and then you are basically moving your clients from left to right. This is the basic Kanban logic, but for each client you want to include additional information. So there are several fields that you can use. I want to show you some of the most used topics and some of the ones that I believe could be a great fit for your boards. So for example, when I open one of my client cards, as you can see, I have some fields here at the left, some fields here at the right. I have a basic text field here, which is the email. So I can type the email of the customer, and this is great to communicate to all of my team that I have that this is the email in case they need to reach out to this person. And I also have a different kind of text attribute here at the left, which is the meeting topics. So I can add headers like topic 1, and then I can add many different things that I should discuss. Topic 2, so you can use rich text here, and everybody from your team, or if you're sharing this board with your customer, they will be able to visualize, and you can even open this card during one of your meetings so you can follow the topics and be up to date with everything that you need to discuss. Okay, so this is the difference between a main area text attribute and a sidebar text attribute. The sidebar text attribute are usually more simple and more basic, like just typing the email. Okay, and well, you can see those fields, those attributes, not only when you open the card, but if you're using like mirroring or Gantt charts or reports, you can also visualize it there. So if you open the Gantt chart, for example, if you're not familiar with the Gantt chart, it's like a timeline where you can see exactly when each of your cards are scheduled to happen and to be executed. So the Gantt chart is famous for that timeline, but you also have one row for each of your cards, and you also have a table with columns here, and you can customize these columns. So you could, in this example, I can see status, percentage, and duration, which are default Placker attributes, but I also see the email. So if I think it's interesting to see the email right with the Gantt chart, I can do that. But as you can see, the Gantt chart is not like, you don't have a lot of space, so you need to be very mindful about which columns you enable here. So I could, for example, instead of seeing the email, I could see uh, the total cost, for example, for that card. And the total cost in this case, you can see the total cost for each card. So I can prioritize the cards that have a higher cost. So yeah, you can see the ones here. And you might be wondering where this cost came from. So basically you have two options when you're using Placker. You can add these costs as a budget, so you can simply click a card and add the budget. You can even differentiate the budget estimated and the budget spent for each of your cards. So it's like a fixed number that you add. So this is the Placker main attribute. But in this case, I have a very specific case where each client that I'm working with, I have a different hourly rate. So for example, for this client A, I have an hourly rate of $110, and I'm working a total of 8 hours for this customer. So um, yeah, so in this case, I have an effort of 1 day, and this is because I start working on the September 5th at 9 a.m. and I finish work at 5 p.m. So that's a total of 8 hours. I have a number custom attribute, which is the hourly rate, and I have a total cost, which is exactly the hourly rate times the duration of the card. And everything is in full sync. If I change the days, like I'm taking 2 days instead of one, it will automatically update my cost because it has automatically changed my effort for 2 days. Okay. If you want to create a new custom attribute, or if you want to create a new formula, you can open the board settings, click custom attributes, and there you will see a list of all the custom attributes that you already have. In this case, I have the meeting topics, I have email, I have hourly rate created as a number field. I cannot add any text, I can just add number. Can be a monetary value, duration, numeric. And I have the total cost, which is the formula where I have used the hourly rate times the effort, the planned effort for the card. That's what I did. If you want to create new custom attributes, you can simply click this button, Add Attribute, and add any of those custom attributes that I have mentioned. And I have a few more to show you today. All right. Well, I know that's a lot of information, so let me know if everything is clear and if you have any questions so far. Um, I see a comment here from Allegra. He works as an executive assistant to the CEO, acting as a project administrator for a company-wide project using Placker with Trello. That's very great, Allegra. Thanks for sharing your use case. And I believe that using Placker will expand the capabilities. You probably signed up to Placker to use the Gantt chart to schedule your project, or maybe for mirroring or for something else. But um, know that you also have the custom attributes available if you think that will be useful. Okay? Well, let me know if you have any other comments. Meanwhile, let me also show you a very nice way of visualizing your data. So far, we have seen the board view, which is quite similar to Trello, so nothing really new here. We have seen the Gantt view, and Placker also allows you to create reports. So a report is exactly a view where you can create customizable widgets. It can be, as you can see in this example, you can create a table with the columns that you find useful to include. It can be single value indicators, it could be charts. So let me explain each one of those. I have added here a card table where I can edit and see all the columns that I have available in Placker, including the custom attributes and including the custom fields, if you have the custom fields in Trello. And I can include exactly the ones that I find useful. So it could be the card, the email from the customer. It could be the meeting topics. Sometimes it will not fit the whole column, but you can always put your mouse over the text to see the full text, and you can also click the card to see the full card here. So that's the report view. It's quite flexible. And in this case, I thought it would be interesting to include in my report the sum of effort. So if I sum up the whole the effort assigned to each of the three cards that I have assigned in my board, it will give me a total of 7 days of work. And if I sum all the costs that I have, that is the hourly rate and the effort, but not for one card, but for all the cards in my project, this is the total sum, the total cost of my project. Okay, you can see that I have selected to visualize the total cost. Okay, you can create filters if you like. So I don't want to see all the cards in my project. Maybe you have hundreds of cards, you don't want to see all of them. You can click filter and you can like only see cards that are B2B or they are B2C, or you can only see the cards assigned to yourself. So suppose this is a personal report and you want to see the total cost for your own cards, you can create a filter. And I also have created um, a bar chart showing the total cost by plan and date. So if you need to see the cash flow of your project, um, maybe only seeing the total cost is not enough. You want to see how much you are spending per week or per month. Then this is what I created here. A bar chart that shows you per plan date and it shows the total cost. Okay. So we have a question. We are using Trello. We are mainly using Trello for end users and Placker for reporting to the C-suite. However, we will use Placker custom attributes since formulas are not really possible in Trello. Yes, that makes total sense. I don't think that Trello has the formula attributes. So in this case, you could definitely use Placker to create those formulas and to visualize in the reports or in the Gantt chart in the board. You mentioned that Trello, you have end users in Trello, so if they are not included in the Placker subscription, they will not be able to visualize the reports. If that's needed, then you could add them to the Placker subscription, but they could still use Placker as usual. They can edit the card dates and they can use the Trello features, basically. Okay. So question from EJ. Is there a way to take a custom field in Placker and have it display on the cover of a card in Trello? No, EJ. Unfortunately, it's not possible at this time to like, for example, in this card A, I can see the dates, so I can see the dates of the card. You don't have the option of taking like the client code, for example, that you have in the card back and make it visible in the card front, like labels, for example. So this feature is not available yet, but I agree that this would be something very nice to have. And I will make sure, actually, I will make a note of this right now to send this to our team. But yeah, so this with the Trello custom attributes, the Placker custom attributes, it's not possible. Maybe with the Trello custom fields, I'm not sure if you have access to that, but for example, I have priority here, high. Yeah, so if you're using Trello custom fields, then you do have that. And it's worth mentioning that, like I said, Placker is integrated with the custom fields. So if you are using Trello custom fields and you assign like a selectable text here, like priority, you could use this in the Gantt chart to filter by priority, or you could create a report by priority. So everything that I showed that is possible with the Placker custom attributes is also available with the Trello custom fields. Okay. All right. So What else? I have created some other examples here that you can use. Before that, there's another question. In Placker reports, is there a way to have the totals shown on the graphs? The totals shown on the graphs, right now you have to hover with your mouse. Um, Let me know if I understand your question correctly, but for number custom attributes, then yes, you could create a sum like I showed you. So it will take all the cost for all of your cards and sum it here, or it can sum the cards on a graph. So for number custom attributes, you do have the totals, but for text custom attributes, then you could count. Like for example, if you can count how many cards you have that has that text. But for example, if you have a very large text field, then it doesn't make a lot of sense to put this in a chart. But you could see this in the table. And if you don't see the total, the whole extent of the text in your table, in your column, then you can hover the mouse to see the whole text or click it. So I'm not sure if that addresses your question. If not, if you could give me an example of what you would like to do, I'll be happy to do a simulation here in real time to show you that. Oh, okay, so when you hover, you see the number of cards. Okay, so indeed, you hover the bar chart, you can see the total um, amount of total cost for that week. You can also click the bar and you will see a table showing all the fields that are counting towards that bar chart with their total costs. So I can see the details. So you can always click and see the details. So for the cash flow of my project, I have client A, client B, client C, and I have a cost of, this is the cost for each of the cards, and I can see the total. So you can either hover the mouse over the bar, or you can click it to see the details. Okay, and that applies also for the data table. So you can also click to see it there, or the effort. You can see the effort per card. 2 days, 2 days, 3 days. Okay. Yeah, some other available formats of custom fields. If you go to custom attributes, I have added an example of a checkbox, like escalate to the board of directors. So maybe not all the cards you want to escalate. You can have a checkbox saying if you want to escalate or not. You have a reviewer, which is a member picker, static link, custom client type. So let me show you in the card. The client. So we have here the checkbox, which I just showed you. You have the reviewer. So for example, in this case, I have one member who will be responsible to execute this task, and I have another member who is the reviewer. So I could have a separate field for that, and I can even enable notifications. So every time somebody includes the member as the reviewer, this member will get a notification, an email, or a notification here in Placker. So that can be a usage for the reviewer. I also added a LinkedIn page. So it's you can add it to add it to the text, but it will also be a button. So you can click and open the LinkedIn page, or whatever a link you find useful for your case. And I also created a selectable client type, so B2B, B2C, and you can use a report widget to see how many cards you have of each client type later. Okay. Also, interesting to mention about the reviewer. So for example, I created an automation rule where every time that I am assigned as a reviewer to one of my cards, I have a mirror rule. So if I go to the automations that I have here on my board, I created one where every time I am assigned as a reviewer, this will mirror the card to my personal tasks board. So I have the team board where I manage all the data from my company. And I also have my personal board where I organize the work that I am assigned to. And this card goes to my board whenever I am assigned. So um, some of you might be already familiar with the custom attributes, with the automation rules, sorry. It is available when you create a new card, when you move a card to a list, and it's also available when you create a custom attribute, okay? So that's an integration between the custom attributes and the mirror rules. Okay, well, I think I showed you all the examples of the custom attributes that I wanted to show you. There are only two details that I also wanted to share. First of them is that whenever you copy or you mirror a card to another board, so for example, I will take this card and I will copy to another board, Placker will detect if those attributes are missing in that board, and it will create on that board if you have this enabled as a setting. So for example, in this case, I have hourly rate and I have total cost. I will mirror this to a board that doesn't have those attributes available. Well, by default, well, if you were just creating a simple mirror, it wouldn't copy those fields because those fields do not exist in the other board. But you have the option enabled by default. You can disable if you like, but it is selected that every time you create, every time you mirror a card, it will automatically detect and create the custom attributes in the destination board if it doesn't exist. Okay, so that's another thing that makes it easy for you to not have to manually create every time, manually create those custom attributes. It will be created automatically for you. And I have one final tip, which is when you create a new board, if you create a copy from Placker and then you export it to Trello, you will have all the custom attributes created automatically. You won't have to create them again. So if you go to your Placker overview page and you create a new board, it could be a copy of one of your existing boards, or it could be a copy from a template, and that template has the custom attributes. You will have those custom attributes created on your new board without having to create them all over again. So that's something that will make it easier for you. Okay, well, this webinar was a bit quicker than the other ones because it's a very straightforward tool. If anything was not clear, or if you have any questions, feel free to send it in the chat. Or if you want to ask about something else in Placker, I can also reply to you right now. And just so you know, we also have a recording of all of the webinars that we did in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Placker. So if you want to learn more about Gantt charts, about reports, we have recorded sessions there. We also have our help center at help.placker.com, where you can see an article explaining how to create custom attributes. And in fact, you can read about every Placker feature there. And you can also use the chat button at the lower right corner to send us a message if you have any issues or if you have any questions. And we'll be happy to understand your use case and provide you some specific tips. Okay? Well, I think that's it for today. I hope you find that useful and you apply this to your boards, because our goal is exactly to help you save time and to get things done when you're using either you're using Placker with Trello or you're using Placker as a standalone tool. Okay? Thanks again for joining the webinar today. I'm very happy that you are taking the time to learn more about Placker. I hope to see you in our next webinars. And yeah, have a good day, everyone. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.